Our attitudes about crime are a paralyzing combination of fear, denial, and helplessness. Most of us try not to think about it and have no idea what we would do if we came face to face with a violent criminal. This causes most of us to avoid taking common sense preventative actions which could in fact protect us from crime if we had the discipline to practice them on a regular basis. According to the FBI, there's a violent crime every 16 seconds in the United States, a murder every 20 minutes, a robbery every 51 seconds, a rape every 5 minutes, an assault every 28 seconds, and a car theft every 20 seconds. While the numbers, thankfully, are down in recent years, the severity and frequency of violent crime is one of most Americans' top concerns. We want to help you avoid the crime before it happens. Everyone agrees this is the best way to fight crime. In this program, we will talk with threat management consultant Pat Malone, who has realistic expectations and common sense advice about what we can do to protect ourselves.
I think one of the most important things to keep yourself safe is to pay attention, to be aware of your surroundings. Look what's going on. Trust your gut. If you feel something's wrong, it probably is, and take the proper precaution.
Pat Malone carries an international license as a police self-defense instructor. He teaches survival tactics to law enforcement, government, and military personnel. More recently, Pat has developed seminars for personal protection techniques, as well as providing high-threat prevention and security for celebrities, government officials, and executives. While Pat carries an 8th degree black belt and trains people how to fight and protect themselves, he feels the best way for most of us to remain safe is to avoid crime before it happens.
I want you to address the problem before it happens, before he gets his hands on you. Most people are victimized because they're not paying attention. People don't think they can be the victim of a violent criminal. Remember, that guy's out there. He's watching. He's waiting. He's looking for someone. He knows you're there. You have no idea that he's there. And he's looking for somebody that is not going to give him a problem. Okay, this guy's on a mission. He has a purpose. He's been there before. You have not. And that's the key. You've not been there. He has. So bottom line is, he has a plan. And if you don't have a plan, you're going to lose.
Despite the fact that the Department of Justice estimates 83% of all Americans will become victims of a violent crime at least once in their lives, for most of us, our plan to defend ourselves sounds like something Scarlett O'Hara would invent. I won't think about that today. Maybe I'll think about that tomorrow. It's important to remember this is not just a problem for women. In fact, except for rape, men are 3 times more likely to experience violent crime. So given this is a problem we all have to face, what is our best defense?
Most people are easy targets simply because they're not aware and they're carrying themselves like victims. You want to be paying attention, looking both ways, looking behind you. You want to walk with conviction. Swing your arms, back erect. You don't want to walk with your shoelaces tied together, slowly, looking down at the pavement, timid. Always walk with confidence. Swing your arms. Look them in the eye if that's necessary. Let them know that you see him. A quick, how you doing? Don't stare him down. Just let him know that you see that he's there. Pay attention. And stay out of areas and situations where you feel there might be a problem. Trust your gut. If something tells you that it's wrong, it probably is. You're aware now. You're paying attention.
Studies show walking like a victim can attract crime in your direction. Walking with confidence and authority can be an effective crime deterrent. This survival tactic is true not only in the modern urban jungle, but in the natural world as well.
The gazelle is an animal that lives on the Serengeti Plain in Africa, and they travel in herds, and that herd has a leader, and he's a leader for a reason. He's proven himself time and time again. He can take care of his herd. And the #1 predator to the gazelle is the cheetah. And the cheetah is one of the 5 most effective killing machines on the planet. Now, what happens when the leader of that herd of gazelles and the cheetah clash? Who wins that confrontation? And the answer is nobody knows, simply because the cheetah won't attack the leader of the herd. It's just like life. He attacks the weak one, the straggler, the one that he perceives to be easy, the one that he's watched from a distance as he gets closer and closer and closer, and then it's over. When I'm teaching, I denote levels of awareness by color. White being the color that many people are in 24 hours a day. Basically oblivious to their surroundings, whatever happens, happens, head in the sand, I can't control my destiny. And I would suggest that people be in the next color code, which is yellow, and that's just like a caution light. Basically it means pay attention, be aware of your surroundings, look both ways. Yellow is the state of awareness that I want everybody in, and that's an awareness level where you're paying attention. You're looking around you. You proceed with caution. If you pay attention and you're aware, you're not going to become the victim of a violent crime. Orange is where the flags go up, where you perceive a problem, where you're suspicious, something feels wrong. And red is where the action takes place, fight or flight, you decide. You've got to make a decision based on your perception. And you either have to stand and handle the problem physically, or you leave the area. Discretion is oftentimes the better part of valor.
Your best alternative is to avoid a situation, because no matter how extensive your training is, you don't know what you're going to run up against. You can go to a karate class or a martial arts class once a week and learn all kinds of gun takeaways or knife takeaways, and on the street, when it actually happens, you're not going to react the same way that you do in a friendly situation where you're just practicing these techniques.
Being aware of a predator, that's a danger inherent in our life, you know, in our world now. And to not be aware of it is just like living in a glass bubble. It doesn't make you any safer. It's just makes you more susceptible to the danger, I think.
Increased awareness is a cornerstone of your safety. Pay attention. The predator has a plan. To keep yourself safe, you need to develop a plan as well.
Today you're not safe on the street. Case in point behind me. Right over here at this ATM machine, a young lady, Robin Casper, was murdered. She was conducting a transaction at the machine. 2 men pulled up alongside her, got out of the car. 1 man started to choke her. The other man shot her. And all of this took place with her 4-year-old daughter beside her in the front seat of the car. If you go to bank, the best thing to do is to bank during daylight hours and go inside. If you have to use an ATM machine, the drive-up is preferred. Keep yourself in code yellow. Be aware. Know what's going on around you. Look for suspicious activity. Trust your gut. Have your card ready. Keep your doors locked. If you perceive a problem, drive away. Complete your transaction later. Basically, the predator can attack at any time. Statistics show that he attacks mostly at night, but many people are murdered, robbed, raped, assaulted during broad daylight in nice weather. People are most comfortable in familiar surroundings, and they let their guard drop when they get close to home or close to familiarity. And basically, you don't want that to happen at any time. You don't want to be in the white color code, the code where you believe nothing's going to happen. You're in a bubble, it can't happen to me. And most people, believe it or not, are in that color code. You always want to be in the yellow code. Caution light, pay attention, look both ways, know what's going on around you before you proceed. I was jogging in the Metro Parks last summer with my dog, and I just happened to remark to myself what an ideal place for a victim. There was no one around. It was a beautiful day, a lot of trees, a lot of underbrush, and all of a sudden from around the corner came a young lady dressed in nothing but a halter top and short shorts with headphones on. And she was using a pair of rollerblades. She skated right up to me, bent over at the waist, and started petting my dog, and there was no one else around. She didn't know me from Adam. And I asked her if she wasn't afraid of being alone in a situation like that, and she said absolutely not. And she picked up some pepper spray that she had in her hand and showed me that this is what would keep her safe. She had it upside down, she didn't have her finger on the trigger, and she wasn't even looking me in the eye. She was the ideal victim, and luckily it was me and not someone else. But I don't hold faith in security gadgets in that they don't always work. You have to have them ready. For instance, Nancy, can I have your purse? Now, you've got some mace in this purse. I want you to find it for me. Would you do that for me? Can you find it? Exactly. Now, and by this time, Nancy is history.
You know, with pepper sprays, mace, you know, any of those, you need to practice with them. Most people think, oh, I've got this, I'm safe. And it's not. I mean, you've got to be careful where you use them, how you use them. You know, you go to grab it, are you panicked, or are you going to grab it where you've got it aimed right, you know, that you can use them? I think they can cause a lot more troubles than they solve unless somebody trains to use them. You know, it's just like any other weapon, you have to train, you know, to use it properly.
If you've got mace in your purse, you better be ready to use it. You better know that it's active, that the contents have not expired. You better know how to pull that trigger in a state of panic. You better hope that the wind is blowing in your favor, not his. You better hope that he's not on drugs. And you better hope he doesn't take it away from you. Because if he does, he's going to use it on you. You shouldn't put yourself in a situation where you feel you might be at jeopardy. You shouldn't walk to your car if it's parked a long distance away from where you are in the dark. You shouldn't take a shortcut through the woods. You shouldn't jog alone at night. You shouldn't take the stairway instead of the elevator. Things like that, commonsensical things. Things that you know are wrong. A group of girls are downtown at night, 4 or 5 girls. They've all come in one vehicle, and one has to be home at 2 a.m., for instance, and she lets her girlfriends know at 1:30 that, hey, I've got to leave. I'm going to be late. My loved ones are waiting for me. And they decide that, no, they're having a good time. They've got to ride home. So she has parked up the hill to save money, parked up the hill in the dark. She elects to take that long walk by herself. You walk up the hill, your heart's in your mouth, you're afraid, you're nervous, but you've done it before and nothing's ever happened. And all of a sudden, out of the corner of your eye, you catch a lone male walking towards you. And because you're late, and because nothing has ever happened to you before, you decide to take the risk. And you go around this person. And as soon as you turn around, because you're nervous, you find that he's walking after you. So what do you do in this situation? And I suggest that you continue to your car as fast as you can and you scream at the top of your lungs. Now you're screaming and he's getting closer. That hasn't deterred him. What do you do? You're afraid, you're tired, he's getting closer. And I suggest you look for a vehicle and you try to use that as an obstacle. You position yourself so he can't get at you, and very possibly he's going to be chasing you around this vehicle. There are no other choices, ladies. What do we do at this point? And I suggest if you're getting tired and he's getting closer, there's one option left. And that option is climbing underneath the vehicle. It might sound a little ridiculous, but at this point, you don't have other choices. Christy, we're going to practice getting underneath the vehicle, and I want you to hit the ground in a push-up position.
Okay.
I want you to roll over onto your left side. Reach in with your left hand. Pull your head first under. There you go. Scoot those legs under. And now you know where he's at, so keep your eye on him. Okay. When I try to reach through, you want to see that I can't do that. And I know from looking at this point, I can't get underneath that vehicle. Excellent. You always, ladies, want to look for the widest opening underneath the vehicle. And in most vehicles, it's going to be near that, underneath the engine, near the lead tire. But because you've practiced, and I definitely suggest that you do that, you're going to determine, based on what you see from past experience, how to enter that vehicle.
When something happens, if you have a plan, you're going to be better able to respond to the nature of the emergency.
It's a slight change in lifestyle, and to me it's more than worth it to be alert it doesn't take that much. It takes a little training.
Basically, what we have been talking about is how to avoid the problem. But what do we do if somebody gets his hands on you? And you're not a trained martial artist, or you're not carrying a weapon. And that's the situation for most people. And the key is to do something immediately. As soon as you perceive a problem, I want you to react, to do something. And that something is, for instance, if you've got valuables, immediately give everything to him. Here's my wallet, here's my purse. As much as you ladies hate to do that, do it, because it could save your life. Most of those things can be replaced. Because what is a lady's best weapon? Her voice. Yell, scream. He doesn't want a problem. He doesn't want attention drawn to him. So the more noise and more commotion you can make, the better off it's going to be for you. No matter what the situation is, there are 4 things that I recommend. And one is to do something at once, immediately. Number 2 is fight back, resist. Number 3 is don't give up. No matter what he does, don't give up. And the last one is expect to get injured, and that's something that people don't want to hear. But in a scenario, it doesn't happen like the movies. You might get bloodied, you might get knocked down, but basically, if you don't do something now, and you don't take your risk or take your chance now, your other option is wait till later, whatever that later might be. So you want to react immediately. Don't wait for the best time. There is no best time. The best time is right now.
You have to react immediately. You have to know ahead of time what you plan on doing. That's watching your escape routes. Where can I go? You know, is there another doorway? Is there another hallway? You know, can I go to the other side of the road? If it's immediate confrontational with a person, you're trapped in an elevator, can you get out before something happens if you're uncomfortable? Don't say, well, probably nothing, I'm just going to be embarrassed, I'm just going to look stupid. You have to be willing to commit yourself to your safety. You have to, you know, if you feel uncomfortable and you have a chance to get out, go. If you have to fight, you have to be willing to fight and do what it takes right now.
If he, God forbid, gets his hands on you, all right, and if he gets his hands on a lady, you have a basic idea what he wants, why he has her in this close proximity, okay? And I suggest that you stick your fingers in his eyes, and I don't want you to stab or poke or scratch. I want you to gouge his eyes. And ladies, everybody gives me the look. I can't do that. But it basically, at this point, it's either you or him. You decide. He has no right laying his hands on you. And the eyes are the most sensitive part of a human body. And even if a person is on drugs, even if he can't feel that pain, he can't see you. And his hands are going to go to his eyes. He's going to forget about getting even. If, in fact, a man attacks a woman, he's always going to have that lady in close proximity, okay? He's going to be here. He wants her close to him, and obviously the reason is sexual assault, okay? He's going to be close, all right? And that's where we go, right back to the eyes as a target area. That's the primary target. When someone has their hands on you, be aggressive. Don't think in terms of martial arts. I want you to kick, scratch, scream, pinch, bite, and kick, scratch, scream, pinch, and bite some more. And all the while you're doing this, kicking, scratching, screaming, pinching, biting, making that racket, you're trying to escape. That's your primary goal. I don't want you to stand there and fight with him. You want to get away, escape. If he gets his hands on you, you've got 2 choices. You've got a choice to do something now or to do it later. And if you decide to do it now, do it with a vengeance. Take that risk. Expect to get hurt. If you decide to do it later, when he has you isolated, chances are you're not going to get away.
Taking control on the street comes down to several common sense suggestions. Stay out of areas you perceive to be dangerous. Listen to your gut and don't carry yourself like a victim. Avoid the mental fog of the white color code and live in the yellow color code of caution. If you decide to use mace, pepper spray, or security gadgets, practice how to use them and maintain them. If you're threatened, use your voice as a weapon. React immediately and commit yourself to your safety. You should practice getting under a car so you could do it in an emergency. If you can't escape, give away your valuables and run. If someone puts their hands on you, kick, bite, scream, gouge the eyes, and then run away.
I think the most important thing, and there are quite a few, is to park in an area where there are quite a few cars, where there is activity. Try to park obviously as close to the doors as you can. Try to park under a street light, especially if you're going to be coming out later after dark. You want activity. Basically, the person that might attack you, the potential predator, is looking for easy. And you're going to make it easier if you're away from everything else, or if you've got barriers or obstacles around you where he might hide himself. In any situation, parking lot or otherwise, 9 out of 10 situations can be avoided. And that's the thing to realize. And the most important ingredient is awareness, paying attention. Many people approach the car not paying attention simply because they're in an area where they don't perceive a problem. There's never been a problem before. And they don't pay attention. They set the packages on the back of the car, they fumble for their keys, they get in the car, open the door, get back out, remove packages, place packages, etc. When they close the door, they don't lock it, and then they fumble through their purse for 15, 20, 30 seconds before they decide to leave, if in fact they do at that point. So basically, it's in and out of there. You want to presume at all times that there could be a problem and act accordingly. When you're walking to your car, keys are always in hand. As you're approaching your vehicle, you're looking around. Keys in hand, you open that car door and immediately key in the ignition, ladies, and out of there. Keyless entry is definitely a good idea. I have one, and it enables me to open my car from a distance, to sound the alarm as I'm approaching my vehicle if there's a problem. They're not expensive. You can buy one aftermarket for roughly $100. And it will keep you safe. It keeps your eyes free to watch for suspicious activity as you're approaching your vehicle. Ted Bundy was one of the most prolific mass murderers in the history of this country. And Ted Bundy was successful at what he did because he didn't look like the boogeyman. Ted Bundy was handsome, articulate, well-dressed, charming, a law student.
Since I have been in Dade County, I have been allowed to...
Shake your finger at me, young man. Don't shake your finger at me, young man.
The two sorority sisters were clubbed to death January 15th while sleeping in their rooms of the Chi Omega House next to the Florida State University campus.
I believe the death penalty is too easy for him. I believe he ought to be hung up there at the Capitol and hung upside down and stoned before he died.
Ted Bundy killed at least 33 women. He didn't look like the bad guy, like the potential predator. Ted Bundy would feign a limp, a handicap. He would target ladies in a group. He would target ladies alone. He didn't care whether they be in a parking lot, a mall, at the beach, in a public park. He would see a young lady that he liked, and he would eventually get her alone, get her to a secluded area. He would kill her. Then Ted Bundy would rape her. My daughter was leaving a department store in a major shopping center. She walked out to her parked car, which was halfway across the lot, and as she proceeded to her car, there were two elderly ladies in front of her. She noticed that. There was a police car that had just passed her, a two-man car with the windows down. It was a hot day in August. And the policeman said hi to her. The car was obviously patrolling the lot. And as she proceeded to her car, she heard out in the distance, "Miss, can you help me?" And she looked diagonally, and there was a car parked with a man behind the wheel and the passenger door open. And the man yelled to her, "Miss, I'm handicapped. Can you please close this door?" And my daughter's flags went up. She didn't like the situation. She had noticed that the man didn't call to the two ladies ahead of her. The man didn't call to the police officers. And he was not parked in the 8 handicapped spots that she had just walked by approaching her car. So she still proceeded to her car and again, "Miss, can you help me? I'm handicapped. Come over here." And with that, she turned around, the flags went up, and she walked back to the safety of the store. The man was yelling expletives at her as she proceeded to the store. When she got to the door, 2 men that she knew coincidentally walked out, and she turned to tell them the problem. And just as she did that, someone reached up from the back seat of the car, closed the passenger door, and the car sped off. Now, if my daughter would have approached that vehicle, I don't know what might have happened. And my point is that I think many people might have approached that vehicle. When you're parking your car, ladies, you obviously don't want to park next to a van, at least with your driver's door on the same side as this sliding door on the van. When this door opens, as you're opening your door, someone can grab you and just pull you inside. And this has happened many, many times. So if you're in a scenario where you happen to come out and there's a van parked next to you, go in your passenger door. If the van is already there, find another spot. Oftentimes people don't like to be inconvenienced, and that is what causes the problem. We talked about gadgets. The only gadget that I think works on a regular basis, and I think it's absolutely paramount for anyone, but especially today, teenage girls, is a car phone, because this society is so mobile. I'm not going to give my daughter a car phone. I'm not going to get one myself. They're too expensive. You decide. Is $25 a month worth the price of the loss of the life of your loved one? That car phone can save your life in many, many, many instances. Always lock your car doors. I don't care if your car's in your garage. Get used to locking the doors. Make sure your car's in good working order, and that car phone is mandatory. A few years ago, friends of mine sent their young daughter away to school as a freshman, and she wanted to take a car. They did not want her to. Typical parents. It was quite a ways away. They decided to allow her to take the vehicle, and her car broke down on a lonely stretch of road during broad daylight. 3 days later, they found her body. Every parent's worst nightmare. That situation could be avoided, could have been avoided. How? The car wasn't in good working order, but more importantly than that, she did not have a car phone. That's your outlet. She was at the mercy of the first Good Samaritan that stopped. And there are people that do nothing but travel the highways looking for prey. Primarily a woman alone, broken down.
To take control in your car, choose a safe parking space close to activity and light. Walk to your car with your keys in your hand, lock the doors, and drive away quickly. You might consider using a remote device to unlock your doors. A cell phone is mandatory. If you want to be a safe Good Samaritan, do so from a distance. Don't get physically involved. It's much smarter to call for help from your cell phone. Don't park next to vans, and remember to lock your doors, even in your garage. It's not difficult to have your awareness level at yellow alert when you are driving alone through the worst neighborhood in town. But chances are, this is not the most likely place you might become a victim. In fact, you are most likely to be attacked with your awareness level shrouded in a white fog of familiarity in or around your own home. Home invasion results in the highest rate of serious injury or murder of all crimes. 35% of victims in these crimes are seriously injured or killed, compared with only 10% for armed robbery.
In my mind, home invasion is the crime of the future. If I was a criminal, that's what I would do. And a home invader is basically someone that breaks into your house with you in it, or follows you home and comes in right behind you because he likes your car, or your look, or your jewelry. Now he's got you to shut off the alarm system, to quiet the dog, and to tell him where the valuables are. In my mind, that's pretty easy. The home invader is the most violent of all criminals, and it's very important that you're aware of that. A home invader basically is somebody that breaks into your house with you at home. We want to create a perimeter that prevents the violent criminal from getting into your home, and we do that with exterior lighting that covers 360 degrees of the property, sensors, hedges that are trimmed. You want to have a solid exterior door. You want to have reinforced door jambs, a peephole in your door. And ideally, close to the door on the inside of the house, you should have pepper spray velcroed to the wall so the children can't reach it. But if, God forbid, somebody comes to that door, you've got that pepper spray at hand, and you want to have practiced using that. If your doorbell rings, the first thing you want to do is look through your peephole. Every front door should have a peephole so you can evaluate your visitors. Don't feel embarrassed about not answering the door if you perceive there to be a problem, if you don't like the looks of whoever's standing there. Your safety first, their feelings second. Don't worry about hurting someone's feelings. Worry about your own safety and the safety of your loved ones. Minimize his opportunities. Make it uncomfortable and uneasy for him. And a dog is a dynamite deterrent, whether it's a 150-pound dog or a 5-pound dog. Something that makes a lot of noise. He doesn't want a problem. It's hard to put a price tag on safety. People will buy house insurance, people buy car insurance. Some of the suggestions are expensive, and some of them are free. Basically, if you can't do everything at once, do it piecemeal. Do it step at a time. But the basic idea is you decide what you can afford, but do something. When you're driving to your house, if you feel that something is wrong, trust your gut. It probably is. Don't go home. If that door is ajar or you see a strange car in your driveway that you feel shouldn't be there, don't go home. Go to a public place or to your local law enforcement official and report that problem. As you come up the driveway, you want to look around and ideally make sure you look that no one is following you. Is something different in your yard? Do you sense something not right? And make sure that you're constantly in a state of awareness. You want to try to keep your garage as clutter-free as possible so there's no place for someone to hide. Many criminals wait inside an unlocked or open garage for the victim to drive inside, and then they access them once they're inside the garage and they're in their own little cage. Exit the vehicle as soon as you get into the garage and immediately go into the house. Now, what do we do if we're home alone and we're in the bathroom, in the kitchen, in the shower, and he shows up with a knife? We're all alone. You all know the story of Polly Klaas. Polly Klaas was a young girl from Petaluma, California, who lived with her mother. Her parents were estranged. And Polly was playing a board game in her bedroom on the floor with two of her girlfriends when the predator showed up with a knife. He basically just walked into the house. He had been in the area. He had cased the area. He knew where Polly went to school. He knew the route she took home. He knew that there was no man in the house. He knew that the doors were unlocked. He just walked inside, threatened the little girls with a knife, picked up Polly under his arm, walked diagonally across the front yard, threw Polly in his car, and drove away. Now, Richard Allen Davis was a career criminal with a rap sheet as long as this room. The police were notified that Polly was kidnapped. Two law enforcement officers pulled Richard Allen Davis over with Polly in the car, still alive. And they were on another frequency. They didn't hear the call for help. Richard Allen Davis stated that he was lost. The police officers directed him on his way. He left, and shortly thereafter, he killed Polly, and they found her body 2 months later. Now, this whole situation could be avoided if, in fact, somebody had noticed Richard Allen Davis in that neighborhood. The way he looked, his car, his demeanor. He was there for quite a while. He cased this scenario, and he wanted Polly specifically for whatever reason, but nobody reported him. The doors to the house weren't locked. That could have prevented the problem. And the children froze in their tracks when he showed up with a knife, which is very understandable. So basically, there was no plan here. You have to have a plan. It has to be prearranged and rehearsed. And if not, you're going to lose, and the predator, in this case Richard Allen Davis, is going to win. Your first option, number one, is escape. And you have to practice escaping from any point in the house with your entire family physically. You set it up like a fire drill, and it has to be practiced not just once, but routinely. So everybody in the family has a plan. When somebody breaks into the house, ideally a code word should be in use. The tendency is for the parents to run to the children or the children to run to the parents. And you're not going to be able to save your children in a situation like that, which is a very disheartening thing to say. So the children should be a part and parcel of that escape plan. So if you kids escape and go to a neighbor, he knows that you're out of the house. And he knows that the police are probably going to be here in a very few minutes. Another ruse that these home invaders use is they'll tie up the man of the house, or at least hold him at gunpoint, at knife point, and tell the wife or the daughters to go get me some duct tape, go get me some rope. Now, simply because they have the man of the house at gunpoint, the tendency for the wife or for the daughters is to do everything he says, to believe that he won't hurt my husband if I come back with the rope. You'll do everything he says because, number one, you're scared to death. Number one, you want to protect the man of the house. But in reality, what's going to happen is, with the rope that you got, he's going to tie up the man of the house. Then he's going to beat him senseless, maybe kill him. Then he's got you to do with whatever he wants. So what you want to do, as hard as it is, and you have to practice this and think about it, when he tells you, I'm going to kill him unless you go get me some rope, you have to leave the house. You have to leave him there. And you have to go for help. Otherwise, you're all trapped together, and you're not going to get away. And you can imagine what he's going to do to the ladies when the man is taken out of the picture. Escape is your primary goal. If we have a security system, we want to know how to use it. Everybody in the house should know how to use that system, and they should know what to do if, in fact, it does go off. Number two, every house should have a safe room. And a safe room is nothing more than a bathroom or a closet with a reinforced door. And from this front door, your easiest, most accessible safe room would be something right over here like this room, this closet. And the way we transform this is simply by reinforcing the door jamb, reinforcing the door, and having a battery-operated cell phone on the inside of this room. As soon as you get inside, you deadbolt the door, you call 911, and you know from your previous conversations with your local police department that it's going to take them 2 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever to get here. That'll give you peace of mind. You should also have pepper spray Velcroed on the inside of the door, so if in fact he does get in, you use it on him. And that should be practiced. If you want to remain safe, you have to take the precautions. You have to do things that aren't comfortable. And if you've never been the victim of a violent crime, you really can't relate. And that's how you get trapped. That's how you get caught. That's how you become a victim.
To take control in your home, remember to make it tough on the home invader. Get a security system and learn how to use it. Don't answer the door unless you know who it is. Install exterior lighting and consider buying a dog. You should make an escape plan with your entire family. Remember, in an emergency situation, the family should split up and escape, not come together. If you're being followed, don't go home. Drive to the police. Don't drop your guard as you get near familiar surroundings. And create a safe room out of a closet or bathroom with a locked reinforced door and a cell phone. Taking control on the street, in your car, in your home, and in your life comes down to basic common sense techniques which you need to practice on a regular basis. First, you need to develop an increased awareness and a healthy paranoia. Pay attention. The predator has a plan. You need a plan as well. On the street, don't carry yourself like a victim. Walk with confidence. Stay away from the wrong place and the wrong time. Trust your gut. If something feels wrong, it probably is. Avoid the white color code of non-awareness. Stay in the yellow color code of caution. Be aware of your surroundings and pay attention. If you decide to use gadgets like sirens, mace, or pepper spray, practice using them and maintain them. If you feel threatened, use your voice as a weapon. Use vehicles as obstacles. Practice getting under a car. It could save your life. React immediately to the threat if someone puts their hands on you. Give away your valuables and run. If you can't escape, fight back and resist. Don't give up. Expect to get injured. Kick, bite, scream, gouge the eyes, and then run away. Taking control in your car, park safely where there is activity and light. Walk to your car with keys in hand. Lock the doors and drive away quickly. A cell phone is mandatory. Be a good Samaritan from a distance. Don't get physically involved. Call for help from your cell phone. Don't park next to vans. Keep your car in good working order. Remember to lock your doors, even in your garage. Taking control in your home. Make it tough on the home invader. Reinforce your doors. Get a security system and use it. Install exterior lighting. Get a dog. Make an escape plan with your entire family. Escape first. The family should split up and escape, not come together. If you are being followed, don't go home. Don't drop your guard as you get close to home. Eliminate hiding places on the exterior of your home. Create a safe room with a locked reinforced door and a cell phone. All of these suggestions add up to developing a heightened awareness, which will help you take control in your life. By practicing these techniques and developing your own common sense plans of escape, you can reduce your chances of becoming a victim and help to keep your family safe.
Bottom line is, he's out there. He's watching, he's waiting, he's looking for someone. Don't let it be you.